What's up guys, Readiness Rations here with you again. We're going to be checking out another US meal ready to eat today, but to be completely honest, this is not an MRE I've been looking forward to. This is menu number 14, Ratatouille, which is a vegetarian US military field ration, one that wasn't exactly liked by the troops. Before we get this meal kit open, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like seeing these military ration reviews here on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my future ration review content, and drop me a comment letting me know what ration you would like to see me review next. So menu number 14, Ratatouille, was only around from 2011 to 2015. It was replaced in 2016 by what, in my opinion, is the absolute worst MRE, creamy spinach fettuccine. I'll link a review for that for you right here. The reason that I say that I am not looking forward to this review isn't necessarily because this menu doesn't have high acclaim. I'm a big time foodie. There are very few foods that I do not like. Ratatouille is at the top of the list. There's nothing about that dish that I enjoy. So I'm not sure what's going on with this, but our items are kind of stuck in the bag here. So I guess we'll remove what we can and then figure out what's stuck. Well, it looks like our drink shake, chocolate dairy shake, is sealed in the bag. Just the very edge of the package there was sealed up in the heat seal. I've only ever encountered that problem with rations packed by Warneck, oddly enough. So of course our first item there is chocolate dairy shake powder, a wet pack retort pouch of mixed fruit, a hot beverage bag, plain MRE crackers, date of production 325th day of 2015, 1.5 ounce package of peanut butter, a 310 calorie pack of nut raisin mix. Of course they do include a flameless ration heater. We have an accessory package which we'll check out in just a second, an MRE spoon, retort pouch for the main, Ratatouille, and our sleeve for the main entree, mixed vegetables and penne, pretty light at 190 calories, 29 grams of carbs and only 8 grams of protein. Now let's see what's in our accessory package here. Lighthouse toilet paper, 4 grams of iodized salt, a moist towelette, creamer, non-dairy, dry, 4 grams of sugar, a coffee instant type 3 freeze-dried, brown pack of matches with red tips, and maybe this will help to make this menu a little more bearable, a small packet of Tabasco sauce. Last item is a 2-pack of cinnamon chewing gum. I'm not that excited about the main entree, but the other items in the ration seem solid. I have had very poor experiences with the ration heaters from this case of 2015 MREs, and so for this video, I will be boiling the entree because I simply don't trust this flameless ration heater to get hot enough to my liking. Whenever there's a dairy shake included in one of these MREs, I do get a little bit excited. This type 2 chocolate has a substantial 300 calories with 44 grams of carbohydrates and 12 grams of protein. So funny enough, this drink actually provides more nutrition than the main entree does. These call for 6 ounces of water, Ziploc sealed on the top. It smells pretty chocolatey, but it also has a little bit of a cardboard box kind of smell. This black line marks our 6 ounces. Zip the top on our bag, give it a couple folds over, and a vigorous shaking. These mix in the bag containers are pretty convenient. You can, of course, drink straight out of the pouch should you wish, but I'm going to pour it up so it's a little easier to see on cam. Looks pretty thick. It's still a little bit chunky, but mostly mixed up, I suppose. And we still have our coffee to prepare. Large freeze-dried crystals on this coffee instant type 3. Really nice smell coming from that coffee powder. In goes the sugar and our very white non-dairy creamer powder. Chase that with about 6 ounces of hot water. It mostly dissolved just from the hot water, but we'll give it a little stir here. And I'm ready to get this show on the road, so let's go ahead and give our coffee instant type 3 a taste here. Man, that's hot. Coffee instant type 3 is one of those ration coffees that I could literally drink every day. When the sugar and cream are both included, it is a very well-balanced cup. It's sweet, but still has a distinct bitterness. The level of acidity on this freeze-dried coffee is pretty low. It is comforting and easy drinking, and I quite like it. Let's get our nut raisin mix open here. Both the nuts and the raisins look pretty naked. They put a do not eat in there, which of course we are not going to eat. Typically these nut raisin mixes are overfilled with peanuts, and while peanut is definitely the #1 ingredient in this pack, there are a good amount of almonds and hazelnuts, your odd walnut, and of course some very dehydrated looking raisins. And get a little bit of everything here for our first bite. Almond, couple peanuts, couple raisins, and a hazelnut. Despite being from 2015, these still smell super fresh. Let's see if they taste it. Yeah, those are perfect. Nice light crunch, a little sweetness from the raisin, and a nice nutty flavor. I do think these could have stood to be toasted a little bit longer, and the addition of some salt would have really made these fantastic. Unsalted nuts are just kind of lackluster, but for food you can easily eat on the go, these nut raisin mixes are just fine. The coffee makes a really nice chaser for those nuts. See if our crackers have stood the test of time. Those were still under vacuum. A little fissure at the bottom there. They smell nice and fresh. They look very pale, which unfortunately is typical of modern day MREs. Since we had a little piece break off there, I suppose we'll go ahead and give that a shot. Nice crunch. Admittedly a little bland, especially when you compare it to older versions of US military crackers. The lack of a dark toast on these really takes away from the flavor. The key to enjoying an MRE cracker is the addition of spread, and we have this pack of peanut butter to fulfill that task. I've given this a good knead, so hopefully it's not separated. Now that's looking real nice. Put a healthy amount of this first cracker piece here. Looks super creamy. This might just be the top staple in MREs, peanut butter on crackers. Oh yeah, that is the perfect mix of creamy, sweet, salty, and crunchy. It does zap all of the moisture from your mouth, so I think it's time to try out our chocolate dairy shake. It is still looking quite chunky. Looks pretty thick. It's coating the side of the glass. Let's see how she tastes. Cheers. Yeah, very thick. That's an interesting flavor. It's not super powerful of chocolate, oddly enough. It's more milky tasting than anything. It has a substantial level of sweetness. There's a lot of sugar in this. In the mouth, it is nice and creamy. Despite looking a little bit chunky, it doesn't taste gritty or of some nasty whey protein powder or anything. My biggest complaint of this dairy shake is that there's just simply not enough of it. I've killed this off super fast. Our Ratatouille is hot off the boil. Let's tear into this pouch. It is steaming hot. I must say I'm surprised by how good this smells. I was not expecting it to have such an appetizing aroma. You can see our mix of vegetables and pasta there. Pretty thick sauce. It does have a little bit of your typical MRE tomato sauce kind of smell, which is a little bit metallic, but I'm certainly not hating the way this looks. This dish is distinctly different from your traditional ratatouille. Ratatouille is typically a layered vegetable dish consisting of alternating slices of tomato, zucchini, eggplant, and maybe yellow squash. It is not a pasta dish, which is what this is. In this mix, we can of course see our tomato, and we do have zucchini. There are both green and red bell pepper in here. There's a piece of mushroom. Now this looks like meat, but we know this is a vegetarian menu, so this contains some textured vegetable protein. I wasn't necessarily expecting that. Our penne noodles here are super soft. I'm barely applying pressure to this one, and it is just melting away to nothing. I'm pretty shocked by how good this is looking and smelling though. I think it's about time for a taste here. That's a decent enough looking bite. MRE Ratatouille from 2015. Okay, so it doesn't taste as good as it smells. The flavor on this is not bad, but it is super basic. It tastes like the most generic tomato sauce imaginable. All the vegetables are so soft and mushy they just kind of melt away in your mouth. The textured vegetable protein is actually holding up better than anything else in terms of texture. Try out this bite here with the mushroom. The mushroom had a little bit of bite to it. Essentially, this just tastes like tomato sauce with super soft pasta. Not at all a bad thing. A little bit underwhelming for sure though. To bolster the texture a little bit, we'll try that out here on a cracker. The flavor of the main is so light that it's actually overpowered by the very light flavor of the cracker. That's a decent enough way to get this main down, but man, this thing is lacking a little bit in the flavor department. I guess that's why they included this Tabasco. Go ahead and distribute this all over our ratatouille. And on top of that Tabasco, I'm gonna go in with a light dusting of salt just to give it a little kick in the pants. Now that we got it salted and sauced, let's go in for another try here. At this point, all I can smell is Tabasco. And that's basically all I can taste also. The Tabasco brings the heat and a sharp vinegar kick, but that pretty strong Tabasco flavor easily overpowers the very light flavor of this main entree. We'll go in for one more cracker here, and that just tastes like cracker with Tabasco on it. I think it's dessert time, so let's get into our mixed fruit here. It's darkened a little bit and looks to be very mushy in there. This is essentially a fruit cocktail like you would encounter in a school or possibly prison, I suppose. I've never seen one of these fruit cocktails that was so mushy on the inside though. It's like the entire contents on the inside have been breaking down and almost liquefying. These grapes are all deflated. There's actually a decent amount of cherry chunks in this. Usually they skimp on the cherry for fruit cocktail, but there's a decent distribution in this one. We have peach, which is liquefying, pear, which looks to be holding up a little bit better, and your odd pineapple chunk. The overall color is a bit darker than what this stuff looks like when fresh, but it still smells like fruit cocktail, so down the hatch we go, I guess. The texture is not good. It is both mushy and mealy. Has a nice little sweetness though. Even being at room temperature the way that it is pretty cool and refreshing. Fruit is an item that MREs are typically lacking in, so whenever they can include it, I do enjoy it. Maybe this particular example isn't showing its age that well though. And that was US Meal Ready to Eat, menu number 14, Ratatouille, discontinued in 2016, and I think it's safe to say that this menu is not missed. However, it's not as bad as I've heard some people make it out to be. Underwhelming at worst. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. That really does help me out with the Google algorithm and getting it distributed out to other viewers. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of my future military ration reviews, and drop me a comment letting me know what you thought about this video and Ratatouille as an MRE main entree. I will catch you guys in the next video. See you then. Peace.